Welcome back, Devils fans, and what a night in Nashville. But first, there's something I have to just let out.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
Let's go! What a win for the boys in Nashville tonight. Devils defeat the Nashville Predators by a score of 4-2, and wow, this is the most jacked up I've been for a win in a couple weeks. This one was enormous. The boys coming off a beautiful win, needed to follow up with another great performance, and I gotta say, Lindy's got some cojones. My man Lindy Ruff goes back to nicodaws for the back-to-back. I said in the last video I would have done it. That would have been my personal call after the last game. I didn't know that he would have the sack to do it. The last time he started Schmidt on the back-to-back, Akira looked terrible in the second one, and then, everyone came for him. But I just felt the way the last game went and the way nicodaws looked, he hasn't played in a while. I was like, go back to the kid. And he did, and it paid dividends tonight. nicodaws with a stellar game in between the pipes for the New Jersey Devils, finally getting our second victory in the second game of a back-to-back on the season. So I believe we are now 2-8-1, which is absolutely awful, but good to see we finally, or for the second time, got a win in the second game of the back-to-back. And, just look at some of the scoring here. First period at 4:04, O'Reilly for the Predators on the power play. That I think Smith would have liked to react. Brendan Smith would have liked to react a little bit quicker down low, but in the end, that's a tough one. On the penalty kill, guys are going to get goals like that. O'Reilly chips it in, gives them the 1-0 lead. First period ends 1-0. And in the second period at 1:30, Jack Hughes, the human highlight reel, with another absolutely just disgusting goal, ties it at 1. Jack's 17th of the year from little brother Luke and John Marino. And folks, I hope you all really appreciate what we have in Jack Hughes. He is a special, special player. He's showing it again, and wow, it's just a sight to see. I've been a Devils fan for a very long time, and we've had some really skilled offensive players over the years, but Jack Hughes to me is top of the top. Just the things he could do with the puck are just phenomenal. Watching Jack Hughes in his prime, it's crazy to think that the Devils have this kid for long term. He should retire a Devil. So hopefully next 15 years of Jack Hughes. But what a shot, what a goal. This kid is special. Hopefully he can stay healthy. And then at 7:01, Novak, we got a little sloppy. Turnover, odd man rush, and Novak rips one past DAWS for the 2-1 lead for Nashville. The second period ends 2-1 Preds. And we go to the third at 2:16. Captain Nicohischier gets his 15th from Bratt and Pala on a little tip in front, tying up the game at 2, and it just felt like we just kept coming in waves. I just had a feeling we were going to tie it, but also was fearing that it was just going to be one of those games where the opposing goalie became a brick wall and we couldn't get anything by them, and a lot of goalies that are certainly nowhere near the level of Saros have done that to us. So with Saros in the net, I was a little bit worried, but I just felt we just kept the pressure up. Devils tie it up at 2. And now it just feels like the momentum has swung. At 14:44, Teemo Meier, being the bull that he is, just jamming in front, tucks one in for his first goal in quite a long time, but it couldn't have been a bigger one. Teemo gives the Devils a 3-2 lead on his 10th of the season from Lazar and Mercer. And Teemo, you could just see his emotion in his face. After he scored that, Teemo probably felt like the weight of the world was removed from him. But You guys know I like Teemo. We've talked about Teemo at length. There's a lot of haters. I agree. At the moment, Teemo's not living up to the contract that he signed. With that being said, it's still, it's still fairly new for him to be a part of the Devils. He's had injuries. Again, hasn't lived up to that type of money for the season, but it's not like he has 4 points on the year. He'll be just fine. He still has to get acclimated fully, and not to give excuses, but it takes some time. It takes some time, and I'm not going to call Teemo a bust. A lot of you would love to, but the fact is we are roughly, just call it half a season. So he's 1/16 of the way through his 8-year deal. One half of the first season of 8. So time will tell. Hopefully he can stay healthy and, keep it going. But Teemo has been a bull in the last few games. Finally gets rewarded tonight with a goal, giving the Devils a 3-2 lead. And with the empty net at 19:21, Nico again from Haula seals it up. 4-2 Devils win, and a huge one. I don't want to get carried away. But it is true. If you look at since the All-Star break, really, we've played pretty good hockey aside from, we didn't even play terrible in the Calgary game, honestly. Goaltending lost us that game. But overall, the body of work since the All-Star game is pretty promising. I would say it's significantly better than before the All-Star game. And now if we're just going the last 3 games, in the last 3 games, we've played pretty damn good. That heartbreaking 1-0 loss to Carolina in overtime. We got the Kraken pretty easily last night. And now tonight on the second game of the back-to-back, taking out the Preds 4-2 on the road. And the Predators, I knew going into the game that the Predators have had our number for quite a while, but I didn't know how bad it really was. My God, I think they said it was the first time in 15 years or something that we won in Nashville. I mean, wow. Like I said, I knew that they got the better of us, but I didn't know it was that one-sided. That's pretty terrible. But, wow, a lot of things happening tonight that I guess weren't really predicted to happen. And the New Jersey Devils getting a regulation win. Teemo Meier scoring. DAWS back in the net. Whew. Yeah, I'm super jacked. It's going to be a lot of iced coffee, espresso shots, getting it going here. But, again, credit to Lindy going back to DAWS. I thought that was the right thing. And it worked out. It really worked out. And, there's still been more coming out about the potential Markstrom deal and other things. The goalie noise is still in the background, kind of swirling around in the winds. But you guys know how I feel about goalies. And given this season, I am riding DAWS. If we're not going to get anyone else, if we're not going to make a move, cool. You got to just let DAWS play. Let him play, and he's either going to carry us to the playoffs or not, but at least give him his fair shot. If we ever go back to the alternating nonsense, I'd be pretty disappointed. I think DAWS has shown a lot performing in these 2 games now where he's given up, 3 goals in 2 games, looking really good. I think it's his time. And now this might be the latest reason that gives Tom Fitzgerald pause on maybe bringing in a goalie, because now he can look at these last 2 games and go, oh, maybe DAWS was the guy the whole time. And so I could see that probably coming into play, and maybe that'll be a hesitation. In the end, I would still try to get a goalie, someone proven, and then keep a tandem of new goalie and DAWS would be my number 1 preferred scenario. But if that doesn't happen, then it's time to give DAWS the net. Give DAWS the net and see what he could do with it. Last couple games have been strong outings. We'll look at the game stats. Game stats, Devils with a whopping 47 shots on goal to 32 for the Predators. 47 shots on goal. That is just, Saros kept them in this game. And again, I've talked about the difference between, terrible goaltending and good to great goaltending. Without Saros in the net for the Predators, I feel like we could have crushed them 7-2 or something tonight. There was a lot of good chances that, a mediocre goalie or a bad goalie could have possibly let up, and Saros really gave him a chance to win tonight. Unfortunately, the team couldn't bail them out. But 47 shots to the Devils, 32 for the Predators. Face-off percentage very even, 50.9 for the Devils, 49.1 for the Predators. Devils 0 for 2 on the power play, Predators 1 for 2. Devils were out hit by a wide margin, 37 for the Predators, 20 for the Devils. I'd like to see the disparity in most games of stuff like that kind of shrink. You can't be getting out hit like that. I've talked all year again and again of how soft I think the team is, and the hits, that kind of lines right up with what we've said all year. 27 block shots for the Predators, 17 block shots for the Devils, but none of them bigger than late in the third. Curtis Lazar, baby, laser. Can't forget about Laser's play of the game. The play of the game, aside from the game-winning goal, Laser blocked a wide open net. It was an automatic goal if Lazar doesn't stick his stick out and get that beautiful block. I think it was like around 2 minutes left, maybe even a little less, or maybe a little more. I don't know. It was right around, it was in crunch time, and I believe Saros was on the bench. I think they had the extra attacker. But Curtis Lazar with an unbelievable defensive play to save a goal. Predators gave it away 15 times. Devils gave it away 8 times. Predators with 17 takeaways. Devils with 9. Another one of these, playoff-type atmosphere games. It felt very much like a playoff game. High stakes for both teams. And this is what this team has to just find a way to bring this level of compete every night. They were out there buzzing around, and we're going to be playing a lot of hungry teams for the rest of the season. And so now we are on a 2-game winning streak, looking to keep the good times going Thursday night at home against the Kings before our big Saturday showdown with the Flyers at MetLife Stadium in the Stadium Series. And so if we could win that Kings game, man, and it's a super winnable game. Kings at home, we got to work those boys over. And so then we could potentially be on a three-game heater going into the Stadium Series against the Flyers. I mean, listen, guys, I'm just ecstatic that this team's not going to roll over and die. During the All-Star break, I was a little dejected, and I thought they might just roll over and die, and we just kind of slide out of it and go out without a fight. And then, I thought worst case scenario, early mid-March, our games are meaningless and we're done. I didn't think it would happen, but just the thought of it crossed my mind, and it was really upsetting. And now I believe in the last few games, the boys have shown me enough that I think they're going to give this thing a real friggin' go. They're going to make a real run, and they're going to make some noise. And I'll tell you this. If we get into the playoffs, nobody in the Eastern Conference is going to want to see the Devils. Mark my words. Yes, there's some teams that have had our number over the last few seasons and always seem to get the best of us. But for us to get in the playoffs, that means we played ridiculous down the stretch to get in. And nobody wants to face a somewhat healthy and hot New Jersey Devils club. Because when you have a guy like Jack Hughes, he's capable of winning games completely on his own out of nowhere. So, a lot of teams, look out. Look out to the NHL. The Devils are coming. We are on a mission. And if we get into the dance, oh, baby. Oh, baby. You never know in this league what could happen. Let's just get there. But overall, phenomenal night. My voice is a little strained. When Teemo got that goal, woof. Oh, shout out to our friend SST6601. Teemo! Teemo! Game-winning goal for Teemo tonight. Game-winning goal. But been a disappointing season for him thus far. I'll give you that. But game-winning goal tonight. I think that's all I got, guys. I'm sitting here screaming and yelling. Oh, the 3 stars of the game. 3rd star from the Predators, Novak with the goal. 2nd star from your New Jersey Devils, Jack Hughes with the goal. And the 1st star, of the game, number 28, Teemo fucking Meier. The number 1 star, Teemo Meier. For all you Teemo haters, sit down. Teemo is heating up a little bit. Good to see him get on the score sheet. Game-winning goal. I believe that's a good thing. And I'm excited. I'm super excited. Super pumped for the Stadium Series. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought about the game. Anything else. Always love talking to all of you, but what a time. What a time. Super jacked up. Big win for the boys. Got to keep it going to the Stadium Series. That's all I have for you right now. I'll be back soon enough. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Until next time, friends, let's go Devils.